What's going on, guys? I wanted to do a quick install video of these Total Chaos bed stiffeners. Now, the reason why I went with this and not another company is these are the only patented ones out there. In fact, they do have that contour that fits perfectly with your bed panel here, and also goes up to this top bolt, which I really liked. Now, this thing right here, that's for like a CB antenna. I won't be using that, but the tie downs are real nice. I mean, it's a very well made. Fit finish is excellent. So let's go ahead and get started. This is real easy. You're only going to need a handful of tools, and you're going to need a 5/16 drill bit. You're going to need a 5/8 socket, a 1/2 inch socket, 10mm socket. You're going to need a T55 Torx and a T40 Torx. Also suggest you using box end wrenches of the same size. So let's go ahead and get started. And what we're going to do first off is remove the factory top bolt here and this tail light. So what you're going to need to do that is your 10mm socket. If I can talk, here we go. So it's just this one here. We're actually going to reuse this, so put it aside. In fact, all the 10mm bolts you're going to be reusing, so keep them separate. And what you're going to remove is, you got a pair here and a pair here. You're going to remove the bottom one on both. You'll see your tail light kind of loosen up there. And in order to get this out, you just basically, I suggest wearing gloves. Just pull straight back this way. If you want, like if you don't want your truck to be all scratched up and stuff and you want it to look all pretty, you can put painter's tape here just to keep it from scratching when you're pulling out. But if you'd seen my truck, you know I wouldn't care. So just kind of lightly hang it from there. It won't hurt nothing, but if you really want to, you can disconnect the wiring harness, and it'll be pretty simple from there. But you're gonna need access here, so that's why we're gonna go ahead and do that. So once our bolts are removed and put aside, we're gonna go ahead and take out these Torx, and we're gonna reuse the factory washers in these, so don't take them off right away. And then we're gonna reuse this bolt. So let's go ahead and do that. And this is where our Torx are. So we need our T40. And you'll look here, and these are captive. It's got a little captive washer. So in order to get this off, you just kind of unscrew it. But you want to keep them in the same orientation because we're going to reuse these. So I just kind of set them down like that. You won't need this anymore. Let's go ahead and get that T55 out of here. Now you'll probably have to use a wrench for this. I've already loosened mine up. Now if you're confused on which side goes where, the tabs go toward the front of the truck. So, but you'll be able to figure it out pretty quickly because it only goes one way. So the first thing first, we're gonna make sure we got that lined up. It's gonna be good. Now you gotta take the supplied 5/8 bolt and a supplied washer, grade 8. Put it through, and then remember that same orientation. I'm gonna go ahead and stack these washers on. And then using this captive washer will help hold it on while you put it in your truck. And if you got a bed mat, it kind of makes it difficult, but always start these by hand, because the last thing you want to do is strip this out and you're screwed. Once you got it by hand, you can come in. Now I wouldn't tighten this down all the way because you never know how your bed's flexed. Like mine already has a little bit, it seems. Which is fine. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and take this 10mm bolt. Now if there is separation in your bed, what you're going to want to do is not tighten this down all the way. This is a weaker bolt. You're going to want to get your grade 8 bolts in before you do that. It does notate that in there. Line that up. Get our T55 in there. We go ahead and bolt that down. Our 10mm seems to be a lot better now. I like to use the box end wrenches for these, so I know for a fact, because trust me, I've done it with my last Tacoma. These will strip real easy, and you can get a good gauge on how the threads are feeling. So I would use that as far as installing these back in. So now once we got that in, you got your bolt here, you got your bolt here, factory, supplied, and the factory bolt there. We're going to go ahead and take our 5/16 drill and drill all 3 of these holes. go ahead and spray some paint just to protect it from rusting. So we're gonna go ahead and take that 1/2 inch supplied bolts. So you got your bolt, your washer. We're gonna go ahead and put it in that top hole. And then we need our washer. A little difficult to get it in there. Once you get it started though, you can take your 1/2 inch socket. I'm sorry, 1/2 inch wrench. Then we're gonna take our 1/2 inch socket. Just go ahead and tighten it up. And we're gonna go ahead and repeat the process down for the other 2 bolts. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and put the factory tail light back, and you can see these little tabs here, which this one came out, but you just line them up and then you just push hard. There we go. And then remember, start these by hand. And I wouldn't impact these at all actually. Let's go ahead and torque all this stuff down. I don't have any factory specs, so we're just gonna make it tight, but not tight enough to strip it. 0.5/8. And then I've already tightened these down. These are nylock washers, so they ain't coming out. And you don't want to torque that down hardly at all. Like I said, they strip. So there you go, guys. There it is. The Total Chaos bed stiffeners. These things are pretty sweet. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. Hit me up in the messages and I will answer any questions, but I don't think there should be many. This is a pretty straightforward, easy, pretty much bolt-on job. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.